Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the C Kappa Invitationals. We are here with C Kappa Season 4. It is the beginning of the group stages. It is now Geek Fam versus High Ground as we jump into the draft. And hopefully by this time the stream has already started. As for some reason, it does not seem to be working as of right now, and hopefully that will change in the next few minutes. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us today, guys. We're back at it. It's the Mott combo, if you will. At least it was not too long ago. Of course, Mott alongside Trent Pax. Trent, how the hell are you this evening?
Oh, hello. Let's see. Fine early morning.
Yeah, I guess I should say morning.
Where I am,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's still kind of. I mean, 3 a.m. I still
3
count that as evening.
Yeah, that's
That's
kind
where
of
I'm
like
usually up.
it depends on what end of the night you're in. Are you waking up or are you?
Oh, I'm waking up. I
Dire
actually
team back.
totally forgot that we had this today, and I just happened to fall asleep at 9 p.m. last night anyway. So I woke up in the middle of the
That's
night, and I
huge
was
for
like,
you.
it really was. It was great.
Yeah, let me tell you, man. I didn't. I think you know that already. You know that about me. I have a pretty rough
Classic
time
you.
when it comes to getting to sleep. Let me go ahead and just real quick. We're gonna get into this series in just a moment, guys. But I do actually need to change this. Not to be bad or the delay servers. Very well the same exact thing, but hold on a second.
Dire team back.
All right, we'll get there eventually, one step at a time. And once it starts working, you're good to go
wait,
for like 6 hours.
Oh my god, I didn't stop it, thank God. Oh, I almost just stopped it and it just came online. Do you know how triggered I would have been, Shred? Do you know how bad that would have been? No, we're fine.
10
You.
seconds remaining.
So
Okay.
Geek Fam obviously is a team which during other
5
SCA tournaments
seconds
we've seen,
remaining.
very solid team. They did relatively well for themselves in the qualifiers. High Ground, a team not many people I
Radiant
think
team
know of
back.
in comparison to that of Geek Fam, of course. I'm much more familiar with Geek Fam than High Ground, but I think this should be an interesting matchup regardless.
Yeah, so Team High Ground, they have recently rebranded. It's still the same 5 guys that were
10
playing on
seconds
Power Gaming most recently. So they haven't been featured in any of the big qualifiers lately at
5
all.
seconds
Right.
remaining.
So this is kind of their currently I think they're only playing the Sky League, which is another one that goes on
Reserve
City Asia
time.
right now, the Infinite Sky League. So
Right.
they only have like 5 games technically under this new brand, but still the same crew of dudes.
Dire
So
team pick.
just old Power Gaming basically. So you got Lance, you got DDZ. And I figure you guys, I'm sure you Southeast Asian fans are all about those two. So,
Yep.
Yeah, Geek Fam team. I was looking forward to watching Kiev.
10
Didn't get
seconds
cast too much
remaining.
Southeast Asian Dota, sadly, but I caught a couple of their games. Obviously, they did
5
not come out
seconds remaining.
on top
No.
in that one, and that was our 2 qualifier slots. So,
Reserve
Yeah.
time.
Southeast Asia, but
Honestly, man, like that's a region that I really wanted to get into. Just at a tournament previous to that, you and I obviously were casting a fair bit of SCA Dota at that time, and then we kind of had to switch, I guess, gears into different regions and stuff like that. But SCA Dota is always something that I'm a huge fan of. Every region to me has something special to bring, and SCA Dota is no different. We'll see. I mean, we've seen Faceless crush this region as of recently. Good teams coming out to play. Lots of interesting meta
Radiant
shifts
team
here in
pick.
terms of what's getting picked, what's not getting picked. But there's a Dazzle picked up alongside the Thistle Underlord and the Rubik, and then on their side, High
Dire
Ground will go
team
for the Axe alongside the Jug and the Slaughter. So pretty standard stuff so far, I'd
Yep.
say.
yeah, we so first pick overall looks like that was Team High Ground. So they start with the Slardar. Then into our Underlord Rubik. Underlord this early is a little bit unusual considering there's still like
Radiant
Centaur
team
and stuff like that. But if you're planning like a group up style, or if you want to try like I would say Underlord, he gets sustain early. He can help you maybe Roche a little earlier on. He can build those armor items to help your whole team up against Slardar. You just got to find your initiation
10
elsewhere.
seconds remaining.
Then Rubik, I mean, standard hero, Jug, standard hero, Dazzle,
5
armor against the
seconds
Slardar,
remaining.
Axe, call the Dazzle. But now the Terrorblade. So things are getting interesting finally.
Yeah,
Reserve
this is gonna be.
time.
I'm
But
excited
this is
for
some
this.
speedy, try and knock down all your towers instantaneously. Get that
Yeah.
metamorphosis, they just run at you.
And I guess that's kind of the group up aspect you were talking about with that Underlord.
Yeah.
Going to be interesting to see the dynamic goes. And then, of course, you have the Axe, which was picked pretty much immediately after the Dazzle came out for the Culling Blade. Not to mention Call, pretty good against some of these heroes. Terrorblade, especially with all the illusions, going to have a lot of, hopefully, spin procs coming out. But as far as High Ground's mid / safe lane, we don't know where this Jug is going just yet. Slaughter, we don't know if he's more than likely going to be playing the support role. His Axe is going to be played offlane, I would imagine. But right now, we're looking for another support, the 5 position for high ground, alongside a safe lane or mid laner. Last 2 picks.
Yeah, should just some sort of super safe 5 here. Don't want to give away anything. Plenty of different options, honestly. And then, yeah, the battle of the mids, as he said. So, unless they, I wonder why they're taking so long.
Not sure.
The Alchemist is still in the pool, who's kind of scary, but all right,
Ugh.
we'll just go coddle.
Well, that's one way to
Dire
stop a
team
push for
back.
Terrorblade, I suppose.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be interesting. We'll see how this does turn out for high ground. I'm gonna go off on a bit of a tangent here, Brent.
All right, fire away.
I hope you bear with me. I'll try to
10
keep it
seconds
cohesive
remaining.
by saying I think high ground should pick Vengeful Spirit as their core and their
5
carry.
seconds remaining.
Okay.
Because I played Venge Core for the first time in a long time today, and let me tell you,
Radiant
I think it's
team
something
back.
special. I think there's definitely some drafts where it doesn't work with, but I think in a lot of situations, especially in pub games, it's absolutely beautiful. I don't think it'll necessarily work in this game, but I think you get so much out of that hero in that position. I think it's great. Anyways, I'm
10
sorry I
seconds
didn't mean to take up
remaining.
too much time. I just had to get that off my
That
chest.
was like super short. No, Venge is
5
dope. I
seconds
really like
remaining.
Venge. I don't expect her to go anywhere. I think we'll still be seeing those core Venge
Reserve
drafts.
time.
Team high ground right now, I would guess they want some Tinker-esque hero. Obviously, he's banned, but if they want to go for an Alch themselves on Team high ground, I think that would be
10
fine.
seconds
Right.
remaining.
If they want to go, they could go like safe lane Morphling, but
5 seconds remaining.
something like that.
That's a hero I haven't seen ever.
Yeah, I mean, they get to see whatever Geek fam. Oh, no, they don't. My
Radiant
mistake.
team
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would think Alch is the safe pick here.
I mean, that's fine. I'm fine with that choice. It's kind of tough to the last pick Alk is always nice. The last pick for a lot of these heroes, like the last pick cores, are always like a lot of
10
them can really
seconds
screw you. Like
remaining.
we've seen like 4th pick or 5th pick Meepos, and obviously the Alks, the Nagas, that type
5
of stuff.
seconds remaining.
So we'll see if that's going to be the case here, or if they're just going to be prepared for it. It's the sniper instead, which is not much better, to be honest with you.
Dire team
Yeah,
Um,
I was just actually looking through their draft, and I was like, well, it doesn't look like they play a lot of Alch recently, but Sniper is the last good, like, totally safe mid laner. Nobody beats them mid. They don't have a good roaming 4 on the side of Geek fam. Just a Rubik will be coming in to possibly harass you.
ooh.
Wow.
Alright. I mean,
Kind of scary.
Slardar and Axe, and they pick a Storm, and there's also Mana Leak too. I don't know, man. This seems kind of an interesting choice. Not that I'm against it. I think that it should be relatively okay early on before blinks come out and stuff like that. But I'm not sure how I really feel about this, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, they don't have good catch for the Storm, so that's good. I mean, that's like freedom, right? As I said, if he does get Mana Leak, that could be an issue just in terms of like mobility around the fight, but he can zip and zap and
Yeah.
be kind of okay. They don't have a Hex or anything naturally. I would be a little worried about his mid lane, just getting peeped nonstop by Sniper. He does start with decent armor, but it's just not enough. Once there's like 2 Wraith Bands up on Sniper, your life is hell.
10
And again,
seconds
they don't have a
remaining.
good roaming 4, so I would imagine he's going to spend a
5
lot of time in the
seconds
jungle.
remaining.
we'll wait and see. So just based off of the draft alone, I ask you this question, I think, every time we get into a game, just because there's strategy time now.
Done.
Who are you looking forward to? Who do you think is going to have a better time overall?
With the fact that Geek Fam is just more favored as a team, I probably will be favoring them anyway, just because of the whole idea of they're going to group up, they get some auras on the Underlord, and they just use that to kind of boost the Storm Spirit into wherever he needs to be, even if his lane's going to be kind of shitty.
Prepare
So,
for battle.
and then Terrorblade too. I think he's very difficult to punish early on, especially when you have this Axe who, even once he gets a blink, you're not that tanky. You like jump into this Terrorblade and his friends, and I feel like he's just going to explode.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's not going to be that easy, I think, overall. But we're going to jump into it, folks. Our first match of the day out of, I believe, 6 overall, not including other tournaments that are coming on after. So a lot of casting for myself and Trent here today here on moonducktv. So straddle in. Is that
Yep.
even saddle in, I
Lock the
guess?
channel on.
Yeah, like
We're not going anywhere.
You
Long
can-
day.
put it on your phone when you're going out to work or getting some food. I put it on audio-only mode so you can hear my voice along with Trent. Hopefully we'll bring you a good radio cast. But should be some good Dota today, my friend. I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to see how these lanes shape up as we head. Looking bottom, it seems to be the standard stuff here for high ground as Mosin Port Slaughter along with the Keep of the Light, and then lands in the Jug. It's playing the safe lane potentially, and they have the Sniper with DDZ going mid, and of course DDZ, a great player, kind of, I think, fallen out of favor for some good reasons, but I'm excited to see what he could do here, as this is the first time I've seen him in some time.
The
Yeah.
battle begins.
Not at the Valve qualifiers for tournaments.
No. Anyway, jumping into the game. What's going on?
I'm digging this StarCraft Underlord. I think we've had this discussion before, but my God.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he's going to just hop into a Blizzard game, guys. I don't know.
He looks like, he looks like a StarCraft version of a Pit Lord, which is a Warcraft hero. You're absolutely right. It's very strange. Telekinesis, DDZ gets pushed back by Raji. That was kind of interesting, I suppose. A little awkward, but I think he's just trying to zone him. He'll take some auto attack damage for it. Not really that big of a deal, but... All right, man. Well, I mean, poor man's shield. I mean, Underlord is relatively tanky, and he's also going to have the Atrophy Ore, too, so good luck, I guess. A little damage he takes, man. He's still going to have to back up, though. If he gets caught with, like, a Jug Spit, it could be problematic.
Raji's back here
it,
trying to find the axe. But MTR, very sneaky. He's down here, so... Imagine if he had found him doing this mud golem, like, over here. He would have got a lot of this experience. He might still get here in time for these. Oh, it's going to be close.
Did he get it?
No, not yet. Not that one.
He got those. That's not that much. MTR will get zoned out. Axe is like, you gotta be kidding. I have an Iron Talon.
Yeah, that's a decent steal. That might have been his level 2, actually. It would have been close.
I think so. I think it would have been close. Yeah, I think you're right. Make sure my audio set my open mic work now. Hopefully. Well, anyway. Okay, good. It seems working now. Yeah, perfect. All right, well, sorry to get this thing set up so slowly, but there's going to be a blast down bottom lane. Luminate will do some damage on a Velo. Ozen coming in, but unless they can really find something else here, this is going to be a tough kill. Slithering Crush will go for the TP, and that means he's absolutely fine. In fact, he TPs to the Shrine. I don't even needs to use it. He's fine one way or the other, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he still sitting on Aura, but get himself the Bounty Rune. Really wants level 2, and he's also trying to get as much as he can before Coddle hits.
Coddle. Speaking of which, Telekinesis into the Metamorphosis. Poison Touch. This will be your first blood. Felix walking up a bit too far. Very good ward placement from Raji, and just an easy wraparound gank. Another TP coming in is going to be the Axe, but MTR should have a better time here than this Coddle just did. So maybe a bit of a positioning error from the Coddle, but not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. You really don't want to lose your tower to the first Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that's not
it
fun.
feels like in terms of pressuring. So this Coddle needs like level 3 if he wants to be able to hold that. And that means he won't have Mana Leak, which means he's not going to be down bottom dealing with Velo whatsoever, which is good for them. So this is basically all on Mozun, and he can't really solo zone out this guy.
Yeah.
So
I got to say, man, this Underlord first pick seems to be doing... I mean, he's not getting any CS. Actually, he's doing way worse than I thought he was, but he's not dying at least, so there's that.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. He's not playing super forward, so not exactly the dream here for Velo. Guy's a pretty monstrous like Timbersaw player, but we'll have to see how well the Underlord turns out for him.
I mean,
DDZ, they're not having too bad of a time, mate.
No, he's 16 last 6 to the 15 of T. A pretty good start for the Sniper. Wraithband Wand is done. T sitting on bottle, no tally. Pretty good start so far for both of these heroes. I mean, who is it more important to have a better start on, the Storm or the Sniper, or is it about equal?
Yeah, it's almost kind of equal. Probably Storm, I guess, because if Storm gets shut down, it's like, especially just levels. Like, if you just keep this guy at level 5 or something like that for a really long time and he feels super vulnerable, that's pretty scary, but...
Right.
I don't know. I feel like this is just going to keep happening over and over. Just like, get the hell away from these creeps, dude. Oh, nice deny, though.
It's not easy, though. Oh, the headshot proc. It's never fun. I guess I will take that. He gets another one, too. Teehee's like, please stop. I'm just trying to get CS. He's only level 4 now, but here comes the Slaughter. This is what you were talking about, ganking him. Slithering Crush comes out, one more auto attack, and it's the Shrapnel that does the job for DDZ. So an early rotation from the Slaughter, finally getting involved and help getting a kill. Meanwhile, top lane, MTR getting caught. Poison Touch comes out. Psionics, though, is going to work onto the tower. However, it's already at half HP. Mosey TP's in. MTR, plenty of Metamorphosis damage. He's being taken by right-click. Fade Bolt Telekinesis up onto Mosin. Good Slithering Crush, however, to save his life. Another Poison Touch coming out. some auto attacks, but they won't do the job as another TP comes in from Felix, which will stop the push, inevitably, and will back them all up. So still no tier 1 tower top lane. It's very good effort here from high ground to make sure it doesn't fall.
Yeah, they're investing a lot of resources into this, but it's understandable. If this tower goes down, Terrorblade will just keep farming this, and then into the jungle, and then eventually he'll have enough levels that he'll just be all out jungling and moving down to the bottom lane, and then this Rubik's going to camp top, and he's going to get really fast levels in gold, and you're going to have a pretty big problem on your hands. So keep investing. Juggernaut's fine. You've zoned out the Underlord down bottom, which is great. Velo just more concerned with jungling than taking advantage of that open space. Probably because the Jug is now level 4.5, has phase boots, so he's at a point where he can kind of deal with you by himself.
Velo is having some trouble here, let me tell you, man. He's not really getting that much farm. But so too, the Rubik's also finally just started to get some experience mid, but you're right, they need to have a good start on this Terrorblade, and this is not as bad as it was originally looking for high ground, I feel like, because of exactly what we were just talking about. The Jug getting free farm, Axis finding some jungle creeps, the Sniper's doing well. I feel like a lot of their lanes are kind of starting to come together here for high ground of the Radiant team.
Yeah, Teehee is recovering a lot in the jungle, though. I mean, classic Storm Spirit stuff. He did better in lane than I expected him to, but, I mean, again, it's just that ridiculously high armor the hero still has. He starts the game with 6, and, like, he's now up to 7 at this point, so he can survive a lot more peeping than the average mid-hero.
True. That's
and
very
true. And what do we have, like, 1 roam mid from the Slider?
That's
because
it,
he was
yeah.
so busy dealing with bottom, so.
Yeah. I mean, the Roman could have been better, but the way they're playing as of right now, they're not really too concerned, I think, with how, you know, the rotations they need. It's so far just securing the Jug farm along with the Sniper, but at some point we're going to see a group up here from more than likely Geek Fam with a Terrorblade as his Metamorphosis is back up. The Dazzle is still top. The tower is roughly half HP. It is level 2 Metamorphosis. If it was 3, might be even better, but bottom Velo? No, he's fine. They really can't do much here.
Got the regen rune here for Teehee.
Oh, yeah, he's ready to go, man. It's time to fight, baby. Let's do this. Felix, you are a very squishy, old, frail man, and you should not be up there. You are about to be killed by a giant storm blue man.
Yeah, this is the sad life, dude. All right.
See you
Later,
later.
dude. It's been nice.
Like we had the same freaking reaction. See you later.
Yeah.
He really does not want to lose his regen rune. All right, he got it off. They actually used Battle Hunger and call up on Contention. He is probably dead. That grave is not going to work. As optimistic, I understand going for it. Maybe just saying, oh, maybe he doesn't have Culling Blade yet. Jump back in, though. Geek Fam's ready to go with Teehee, looking for DDC. They were not expecting the regen rune. Sunder comes out as well. They're both low, and one more Overload proc will do the job. DDC will get caught as well. Illuminate will do some damage. Meanwhile, Southern Crush on the back lines. Moses trying to head out with a sprint, but I guess I should say the Guardian sprint now. He will survive, but Teehee, that regen rune, as you mentioned, huge.
Yeah, made that pretty easy. Pretty sick Sunder, too. Like, mid Culling Blade, it was just about to hit onto him. He gets the Sunder off to survive. And then turns it right back around on the axe, too, so. Well, very worth it dive for Geek Fan. Puts him up 4 kills to 2. Lance was getting a ton of space down bottom. Has put him up to 3,700 gold. He was just cutting in between the towers.
But so was the Velo. He got up to level 5 all of a sudden, seemingly out of nowhere.
That's also true, yeah.
So that's good. Anywho, Storm
At least
with
he's
that.
beefy enough to survive the potential Omni Slash, it looks
Yeah,
like.
I think so. I think he should be fine. We'll see when they want to get him involved. He's got level 3 Firestorm, level 1 Pit of Malice. Pit of Malice is such a good value point, man. Attribute too. Both of those abilities, very good value points.
Yeah, his leveling's just fine now. I mean, as long as Firestorm's okay, the hero should still be fine.
Yeah.
Bella's very good for catching up. It's got that nice percent scaling on the damage.
Oh, that's pretty nice. That is pretty nice, actually. So we're gonna. It looks like they'll probably wait for Metamorphosis again on Geek Fam's side, and that means that, well, we're probably gonna see some farming because high ground they probably won't want to go until they have their point dagger on the axe, which is a ways away. We might see some PvE here for maybe the next not 5 minutes, the next 2 minutes or so, Trent.
Yeah, he gets a stack for himself, though. So, not too bad.
All right, well, all right. Storm, Arcane Boots is done, so looks like it will be the inevitable Bloodstone. Sniper dying also sets him back a bit. Sniper not picking up anything just yet. He's got the drum recipe and his quick buy for Sniper. Seems a little uncommon. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, no, definitely not something we've seen, but he appears to be opting for it. It might just be the casual bracer, and he just leaves off of that and was just using the quick buy, but we'll see. Just the move speed is going to be good. The initiation is rather weak from the Dire. They don't have any sort of a blink. All they have is just Storm, right? He like zips in on top of you, so if you can actually create that gap, force the second zip or something, it might give your team time to respond.
I also like the idea of attack speed, especially for the rest of your team. You pop the drum. Pretty useful.
Yep. That's great.
Anywho, I forgot this 2-1 tower was still alive because they took that fight and they won. But meta is now back up.
Oh no, not the old man.
God, arthritis is really not going to help me
Leave
here.
me alone, dude.
Yeah. If only he had a stick or something there. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Well, I think you're supposed to die. Mosin just can only help but to look on. Psionics has picked up level 4 Conjure Image, level 2 Metamorphosis. Not sure if that's the new build or anything, but the Conjure Image is also a good spell to have. Maxed out.
Yeah, that is a little different, but fine. Just some people skipping the reflection, of course, these days, just going like 0-4-4 or something like that if they don't get the sender early on. But Psionics just forced into it early this one just because the battle definitely worked out having both reflection and sunder. So he's happy with the build he went just because of how that all happened top lane. But tower's down. This again falls kind of to Coddle and Slidar's zone. Slightly greedy. They have like 2 position 4s basically, like Slidar and Coddle both wanting a lot of farm.
That's true, actually. But I think they could find their own places to farm. Although you can only get so much out of the map. When you really think about it, look at all these heroes. All of them need farm. You know, Jug, Axe especially. Sniper, obviously. I mean, like, you're absolutely right now that I think about it. I was kind of questioning it, and I'm thinking now, well, is there going to be any room for farm for, like, you know, some of these heroes? Everybody's going to take it.
It'll be a slightly poorer Coddle than usual, too, just because one of the ways we always see Coddle get farm is the way he, like, sits up on these lanes. So you're playing Radiant side. You go up as a team at like 10 or anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. It hasn't happened this game, but you take the top tower, and then you just camp these trees and blast the wave and everything. But difficult game to do that up against Storm Spirit.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Usually you need like 2 or 3 heroes to rotate to kill the Coddle, but that'll kind of slow you down and make you a little bit scared to do it. So he's probably just going to be a poorer Coddle than usual. I would prioritize the Blink on the Axe more so than, the Blink on the Slider more than items on the Coddle, just so he can follow up or initiate and let Axe get like bigger calls. But if you start to lose, Coddle's the one who's going to start getting the most farm because he's just going to blast every wave that comes into your base.
It comes down to that high ground presence, but you're right. These double initiations from MTR and Mosin can be absolutely huge. The smoke is going to be the first Blink reveal of the game. Looks like Geek Fam's Raji might be the one that gets caught here if he's not careful. He actually gets the deny on the tower, so while they were so focused on getting that kill or finding a pick, they lose out on some extra gold that they could have gotten, which is unfortunate. We could maybe see another smoke from them again. If they have one, they do have one on Felix. They're kind of headed towards top for T.
Yeah. He's baiting up here, like he's hoping someone kind of push the wave. He has the DD rune. He just shows. So that was a little scary.
There is a ward, but it's in lane. Here we go. Blink call should be coming, and it gets off perfectly timed. He was about to jump away. So they're quick to follow up. The Illuminate is there, and they get a dominating spree. And Felix gets it. So that's one way to get farm, I suppose. You just get a kill on a Storm Spirit. So he's rich.
Nice. Thanks, guys. Yeah, 384 gold. Okay.
Speaking of getting jumped, Lance needs to be ever so careful as he will back away. All right, some TP's in. They're going to go for a call. They're going to find it. It's only going to be on Devello and the creeps, of course. They'll drop the wave down as well. Bit of Malice coming through Slither and Crush. They actually get off the Calling Blade and get the kill. Psionics with the each kill. Double call for MTR as that Grave again won't save him. Psionics should have a Sunder here, but he won't be able to get it off. It's the Omni as well as the auto attacks from the Sniper that clean house. And all of a sudden, High Ground get 4 kills in a row, Trent.
Yeah, that was great. I love the way they just all rotate. Screw it. Like, let's just all TP down here. We'll make this stuff work. It's fine. Back up our Jug. Axe finds himself 2 great fights right away with the Blink Dagger. This is going to help accelerate him to that next item. The way they just ignored the Terribly at the first, that fight too, just like immediately blow up the Dazzle and the Underlord. They're clearly the sustain out of that trio, so knock them down and deal with him last.
Ooh, Call hits onto one, doesn't get onto Raji, who stole Blade Fury. Illuminate coming out. MCR needs to be careful. Moses looking for the Sword Crush. He'll find it. Now they get the damage off the first phase, if you will. Vadebolt will come out. There's the healing word to keep him alive. He's so low, but he won't fall. Juggernaut will be able to get out. One more auto attack, and DDZ will get the job done as they take the tier 1 tower in this bottom lane. And High Ground will proceed to back as Teehee's trying to take top. Again, another great initiation and fight coming out from High Ground here, Trent.
Yeah, very nicely done. And, I mean, we were talking about greedy supports on the Radiant, but Raji has taken that space thanks to that early tower top.
Wow.
And his Storm Spirit jungling, and yeah, he's had a Blink Dagger now for a little while.
Yeah.
Up to get himself some wards too.
It's the Dream Rubik start. If his team was doing a bit better, it'd be even better. And this is without a level 10 talent. No, plus 60 gold per minute. That's a 15-minute Blink Dagger. He must not have bought anything. 10-10 is the ward man this game.
Yeah, basically. And he did get a lot of like lane space too, just because he was like mid while Storm was jungling and stuff. So he is above his own offlaner, which is also a little depressing. Hilo still needs the full recipe for the mech.
So man, he's trying his best. He's gonna get there soon. I will say one thing that's unrelated so far to this game, but whenever I say High Ground, I always just go back to those old days, Trent.
I know. It's pretty funny.
What happened?
Keep seeing it, and I think about it. I'm like, oh, well. They, I don't know. Their logo's kind of cool.
It is. I actually like their logo a lot. It's way better than our logo was.
Each and a G, yeah, like way better. That's basically the point I was getting.
No hate to the High Ground TV logo, but this logo is pretty badass.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
Anywho, what we got here? MTR already working on a Blade Mill, getting kind of close to it too. Lance now pushing top. I feel like this aggressive ward they placed down in lane by the Storm Spirit, I don't think they're going to get as much use out of that as they thought they might have. At least not yet.
Yeah. I think they were expecting to like pressure down bottom, because if Terrorblade have taken this tower and the map shrinks to like this, then you are spending more time, I would say, with like just your coddle up here, and then they're all like chilling down here farming jungle and stuff, and you just keep picking the coddle off over and over, so kind of understandable.
Luckily that is not the case for High Ground, as MTR and Mosin will go again. They're going to find 10-10, and boy, you are mega dead. Goal comes out. MTR now sitting on a 4-1-3 kill score. Mosin getting closer and closer to his Blink Dagger, sitting at 1,600 gold. Once that comes out, this game gets that much harder for Geek Fam. There's a Manta now done for Lance. They're going to just push. They're going to recall. They actually have, of course, it's going to be Sniper coming in, and so there's not really much you can do here for Geek Fam. They just kind of have to split push. You can see that's exactly what they're doing Velo, Evo, and that'll be that.
Yeah, they, again, don't really have the initiation. They did prioritize the earlier blink onto Raji to give them something, but him just blinking and lifting someone doesn't really do all that much.
No.
To be honest, so they're going to need just a big jump in from Teehee. Probably smoke up with his Bloodstone with the mech. Try their best to add a couple charges to this thing and get a foothold in this game.
This is definitely their go time for Geek Fam. At least at a couple of moments, maybe they want to pick up the next style first for Terrorblade or something like that. But yeah, it comes right around the time where Mosin's going to have his Blink and MTR has his Blade Mail newly minted. So yeah, this Blink's done at 100 gold for Mosin, and this game gets kind of even more difficult. So 18 minutes into the game, Geek Fam kind of in a, I guess, uncharacteristic place given the team they're playing against, given the, I guess, how well they did in the past couple of tournaments. They didn't do the best back in the SCA qualifiers for Kiev Major, but they're still a team that I think a lot of people consider to be very solid. But High Ground are no joke, man, let me tell you.
Ooh, Mosin just got his blink too, so they didn't quite find that window. You know, if you had a fought right there the past like minute or so, Geek Fam the Bloodstone, then there wouldn't have been this double follow-up potential. But now they have it over on the High Ground, so it's a little bit harder to make this work. And Lance is closing in on Diffusal Blade, honestly. He's not even that far away. It's like 1,100 gold. They'll have Manta Diffusal. Very rich this game.
I am a big fan of this build, and it seems like more and more often now Jugs are always going Manta first and like Mjolnir or Diffusal or Maelstrom or something like that, but this seems to be a great choice, I think, given the heroes in the game. But
oh, so Felix had been eyeing up an Aghanim Scepter. Kind of standard stuff, but he has now stopped off for a Glimmer, which is great because the Bloodstone's out. Now they have Slider Arc counter initiation, Axe counter initiation, even just a Glimmer. It's going to do a lot of work against these Storm Spirit
see
jumps.
the Axe, speaking of which. Fade Bolt, jumped in, Telekinesis, Pull coming out. They have the Firestorm as well. He's pretty tanky. Pitted Malice coming in. The Call will go. Doesn't really help him out. Of course, Blade Mail was used on top of that all, but it actually means that Raji gets the Calling Blade, interestingly enough. That's kind of funny.
All right, not too bad. Let's take that. So
Call, let's do it.
They're gonna pop the Metamorphosis, so maybe gonna try and turn this into a Roche as well. We'll see. There's the potential there, but only 20 seconds till Axe is back, so probably not.
Yeah, I think they just want to
need
get this tower
like
and B.
3 throws.
Look at where Raji is positioned, though. Like, he doesn't see anybody, but he's sitting up there pretty far. If they can get some vision here, he can go for a jump. Server Ward's placed down, and it looks as if you were correct, at least in the assumption that they'll take the tier 1 and back out. If they want to go for Roche, they still can, but it looks like you're right about that too. The Axe back up.
That's so scary with the shrine and everything.
It's so yeah, you're right. It is very dangerous. Even with vision, they drop that ward down mid. It's still very, very dangerous. I don't know if Geek Fam are smoking up or whatever, which is exactly what they're doing. All right, man. It's go time, and that's a very good scan again. Well, it's a pretty obvious scan, but one that's going to work out. Ward placed down. Smoke will not break yet. Mosen's still leading the way, but it looks like Psionics knows something is up. With all of the vision they have and nobody showing here for the Dire team.
Exactly.
You just need to leave.
That's the main problem.
Raji, get out of here, buddy. Don't do it. Get out. Oh,
the greedy Rubik.
He's actually fine there in Roche. He won't get punished this time. There, man. This time it's already doing Roche. And,
oh, an Invis rune.
Yeah, this could be big. They have sentries. The scan is going to connect from the Dire. I think if you're T, you just walk in, and that's what he's trying to do now. Oh,
I mean,
he's got a space
so
for it, too.
unlikely.
There's no way he gets this, right? No, he dropped it. His Invis rune is gone. It probably didn't last that long anyways. Nope, 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 nope. But now T, he knows where it's at. I think MTR blinks in and calls as the Roche is dying, something like that.
Yeah, just like Crash, same idea. So, okay, secured. They don't trade away too much the bottom tower. I think Velo probably just ult his way out of here. Oh, he can actually see the TP.
Exactly what he's doing. He's fine, I'm sure. Actually.
Yeah.
Level 2 ulti, yeah, he's good to go. Raji and Mosen. Oh, Raji, this is a behind the enemy lines type of mission. I don't know if you're Owen Wilson here, my friend. This is not going to go well for you potentially, but actually they're going to go for Lance instead. He does have the Aegis, but the Slither Crush comes out on the 2. Assassinate won't really be needed, I don't think, for Raji. They should still catch him. He has no blink. Liver Cape comes out. They have enough damage to just bring him down with right click alone. And so that'll be the 1 kill. So a bit too aggressive, perhaps. What were they really going for there? They had the ward up already. It's not like they were warding any further, unless I missed out.
I think he was low, so they were just thinking, like, zip in, we can kill him. I have the Culling Blade. Like, we'll have enough damage to bring him down.
That is a dangerous position to jump into.
Yeah, it is for sure. But if they could have taken care of that Aegis, it would have been very nice to try and slow down this push that they're bringing in. But Maelstrom, drums, onto our sniper, Mr. DDZ. Feeling pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
He's feeling himself, as they say.
That is what they say. Trent, I'm so glad that you said that. Because I said that in a cast.
All the cool kids say, I heard.
I did that in a cast like a year back, and my brother was watching. And it just became a running joke where I'm just like, he's feeling himself, and they're like, oh man, Maud's feeling himself, and every time they would just make fun of me for it. I don't know, that's the thing they say, don't they?
Yeah, it's more of like an FGC thing.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
My brother's not an FGC guy. He's more of a Dota nerd.
Street Fighter dudes or something like that.
Right, exactly. But I suppose DDZ is in fact feeling himself. I agree with you completely. Yes. Well said.
Well, Teehee, he is working in towards that. Or hit. He still has 13 Bloodstone charges. Things still looking okay. I think this is the hardest part of the game for the Radiant, whereas even they have 1 tower left. Yeah, maybe they could focus down and kill this, but once all the objectives are gone and your game becomes less formulaic as high ground, I think it's very difficult to try and like close out all of this area of the map and get those wards down and pressure into these buildings, all up against Storm Spirit, who's going to be zipping, farming everywhere. Terrorblade illusions are going to be all across the map and difficult to control, and then the ever constant threat of the Dark Rift too. Yeah. So it's like you're ahead, and when you're playing as high ground this game, but it still feels really scary. You're like, I don't know how to close this out and win it.
Yeah, DDZ, and this is one of those kills they really can't afford. Obvi / only under the heels of Raji. He still might go down here, but it's still an okay trade so far. However, the Slithering Crush comes out and looks like 10-10 will fall as well. The Grave will come through, but MTR is here to cold him down to death. So it is a 2-for-1 trade. Yes, it's both supports, but it is 2 for the 1. I was thinking they might have somehow gotten a gold advantage out of it, but no. But they do stop at least the sniper, so very good rotations coming out from high ground to make sure they don't lose too much and get something back. But very close.
Yeah, you sack your supports and you boost up your storm. Not too bad. You still slow down the group push from the Radiant, although it's only a minute and a half left, so unlikely they're going to get another objective out of this Aegis.
Right. I will say, the Geek team have done a good job of keeping the creep waves, the creep waves in this, past their part of the river. I think Dire have done a pretty good job of that. High ground haven't had a real foothold onto the opposite side of the map yet. In terms of vision, they don't really have much either, other than, of course, towards the shrine. So, it is still anyone's game. I haven't actually checked the net worth graph.
This coddle.
Yep, Pole comes out. They have the dust as well. And Malice coming through the Firestorm. Good attempt at the blinding light, but that is a dead hero.
And that's kind of what you expect. I mean, Storm, that's what he does, right? He loves those lonely supports like that.
Yeah.
They're looking for a jump mid, but they don't have Axe, so...
They're all going to rotate in, but it looks like it might be too little too late. Although Psionics is going to walk up, sees everybody, and then they just say, hey, that's enough of that. They'll pop the reflection. No blink in from Muzen anymore, at least for the time being. And so they will back up without losing anything. Going back to that gank with the Storm Spirit, as you were talking about, this is exactly what Teehee needs to be doing. He has 15 Bloodstone charges. This game is definitely out of reach. I mean, the net worth is even. It was like a 4,000 net worth advantage for high ground, and then all of a sudden, just based off of perhaps 1 or 2 deaths or maybe just better farming from Geek fam, they have the advantage now.
Yeah, and you're forcing DZ into a Manta, which isn't exactly the funnest item as a sniper, but looks like he feels like that's a good item this game just because of the Orchid coming out the threat of that. Can't go into like a straight BKB or something, doesn't feel comfortable with it.
He's still kind of a bit away, too, in terms of the money.
Yeah.
He'll get there quickly because he's a sniper, he can farm pretty fast, but this is the perfect timing now with this Orchid Malevolence. They have the gem as well. Aegis is now gone. There is a smoke up on 10-10-10. Going 10-10 from now on. So I would imagine if they want to make something happen, they certainly can. Abyssal is down bottom. He's going to continue the Firestorm, the creep wave, and just...
Yeah, this battle is so weird. This Underlord Coddle thing. They're both just like accepting that they're going to nuke the entirety of the wave, and no one from either team is going to come deal with this. So both heroes are just getting a bunch of farm.
Like this epic
battle.
battle.
A Crimson Guard soon.
Epic creep battle you'd see in a movie. Meanwhile, Mosin, he is smoked up in the front lines. MTR, they'll see 10-10-10. Blinken call, gets onto Psionics, and he is probably dead, although they jump in Raji. Grave comes out in time. Omni Slash there, he needs the Sunder. He already used it. Blade Fury coming out, Psionics will fall. Pit and Malice not really doing much. They'll get Mosin, so it's 2 for 2 actually. He getting involved in both of those kills, so he's up to 17 Bloodstone charges. He was getting pretty low on mana, but he is able to make it away. But again, they did lose the Terrorblade. However, the Sniper did also die. I don't know how he died. I didn't see that part of the fight, but pretty big kill there for Geek fam.
Yeah, he was just jumped on by Teehee, I believe. Just landed the other side, so smart. I didn't pick up here by Raji, just going for the Blink Yules. Typically you want the Force Staff or you want to build into the Agnum Scepter as a Rubik player, but whenever you're up against Axe, it can be very helpful to grab that to help your team. So he uses them up during the Grave, gives him a chance to get a Sunder off, so this Axe can't just culling blade through your Grave TB. Right. But obviously did not save him in this one.
He needed to be... Yeah, that's the problem with the Terrorblade. If you're out of position in this game, it's pretty rough. He's going to have Scotty at least. So we talked about the Coddle Ags, and he's just about got it. I mean, I like the fact that he did go back for it after the Glimmer Cape, but I like the fact that he went Glimmer Cape way more in the beginning.
I think Velo's being dealt with now.
You are dead. You don't have Dark Rift. You have a TP, but I don't think that's... Oh, is he actually going to make it out? There's no way. Oh, my God. Wow. There's no way that should have happened. I guess they just didn't have any disables, huh?
Yeah, they didn't save their stuns.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's not
Called
great.
by Velo. Sometimes that just happens, you know. You throw the TP and they use it all, and you're like, aha.
Yeah, but
No
when it
bash for you.
doesn't work and it's like the most optimistic TP scroll ever, you're just kind of like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, sometimes you get flamed, but that's the life.
Me today actually playing with. Let me tell you, I'm not a Bane player, and I don't think I ever want to play with Charlie, Purge, or Will Blitz in a game ever again as a support.
That sounds about right.
It's never anything I want to do. Play like a god with like Dakota and Ortiz. Meanwhile, Velo's gonna just die, or she should, but you never know. He doesn't have a TP scroll this time, and I think they've finally gotten their revenge. However, top lane getting pushed in by Teehee. They need to make some rotations back to the tier 3 tower, taking a bit of damage. 2 TPs coming in. It'll be both Mosin as well as the Coddle Felix. While letting away Mosin, of course, on the sidelines. They will spot him out. It looks like the Orchid will come through. They're going to try to fight this Fadeball telekinesis to detection. They're going to go for the Coddle instead, and boy, do they kill him quickly. And Mosin should fall here as well. Call will come out. They do have Lance here as well, and they will blow up T. Gem is on the deck. Raji should fall as well. Lance doing some serious damage, and they find him a double kill. DDZ looking for the Dazzle, but they won't be able to get that kill. So while it was looking so good there, thank you, Noir, it turns out pretty bad for Geek Fam at the end of the day.
It was really smart the way they TP pack on Geek Fam too, where they sent the axe right to the fountain. They showed the Coddle, because it makes it look like it's only Coddle coming back to deal with the Storm, and they wanted Storm to jump on the Coddle, and then they have the jump from the axe, and then Slardar was coming on the back line too, but this ward on the high ground spotted the Slardar rotation, and that's why they were able to jump him, and then they're like, oh, they only brought 2, and then they jump on the Coddle too, and then axe shows up, and he's like, yo, fuck you guys. Like, I'm gonna mess your shit up. My Jug's here too, and they absolutely obliterate them. And they also stole the gem, which is very, very nice.
Yeah.
So
that's huge. And the Bloodstone charges 2 down to 12 now, which he was starting to get out of control with 17, 18 or so. I think it was 19 at the end of that fray before he died. So that turns out to be pretty bad. And like you mentioned, the gem thing is probably the worst for Geek Fam. But now we'll see another potential initiation. Velo has been spotted out. Sentry's dropped down. Lance was thinking about coming in. What does he have? Blink, Basher, Maelstrom? He has gotten a lot of farm very quickly that I haven't really been paying attention to, I'll be honest with you. Meanwhile, Blink call. Slither crush down to 2. Assassinate coming out. Raji Ulysses himself. Good guardian group so far. They might be able to turn this around. They dropped the Metamorphosis. There's the telekinesis. Lance trying to get out. The Scotty going to work. They did a couple more auto attacks. He's still slow. Can they bring him down? Ball lighting. Gets the kill for Teehee. Now he's looking for more. Wow. Mosin getting caught. By the way, 73 seconds. No buyback coming out here for this Juggernaut. Mosin's still running out, trying to make himself flee, and he will be successful in doing so. But that is still a gigantic loss. That one loss, and luckily enough, this creep wave is still here mid lane for high ground, but still not great for them at the end of the day.
And they don't get the gem back, but Roger still manages to find a couple wards here with some sentries, so nicely done by him. But yeah, he just goes their way, and that pretty much puts Geek Fam in control. I can understand the ambition to head in there from that Juggernaut, but okay, all right.
Ball lightning, Orchid coming out, call comes through. Teehee, this is not the fight. Calling blade misses, doesn't matter. DDZ gets enough auto attack damage. Now Pit of Malice, Firestorm coming out, but they don't really have any follow-up damage to help out here. And Velo's just going to go ahead and Dark Rift away. So it actually looks like this contention might be worth it and actually stops them from taking this Roshan. Now, High Ground will head into the pit themselves without Teehee up for 24 seconds. We'll see if High Ground can take this, especially with Corrosive Haze.
Wow, I was not expecting that. I thought they'd play closer together on the Dire and just use the Underlord for a bit more, but the problems that rise, I suppose, just because like the Axe Call and the Slardar, they don't have anything like that on the Dire this game. So if Teehee jumps in first like that, that's it. I mean, no one else can jump. I don't know. This is pretty deep.
Teehee may be making a critical error there, but hindsight's 2020 as High Ground will take the Aegis and move together across the map.
And this gives Lance a chance to now actually get in towards that Abyssal Blade. Because once he gets that, I mean, that's like half the reason you buy Blink on this hero, you know?
Yep,
like, you get your good Omnis, and then you buy Abyssal, and that's GG. So there's no Lincoln Sphere in the near future at all for our Storm Spirit.
All right, Pit of Malice coming out. They will back up, it looks like.
Oh, they're going to see that Storm because of the Caudal Vision. But not going to go on him.
No, they decided against. He backed up too. Sniper auto-attacking the tower, is blinking away. MTR smoked up, ready to make an initiation, but the smoke is now gone. Raji will get a spell steal. It will be Shrapnels. Not a bad spell to steal. Pushing bottom is going to be the Terrorblade at this time. Bit of mouse coming out. Double shrapnel flying through. Lance just avoiding it with the Big Fury. Well, there's a creep wave coming. It's actually backdoor protected for now, but Telekinesis decided to play. Pop the Crimson Guard up. Now the Illuminate comes out healing him. It's still daytime, mind you. Firestorm blowing up the creep wave. Geek team are holding pretty well, but they still may end up losing this tier 3 tower, and that will give so much map control over the high ground. It looks like DDZ's just going to get it. No deny coming out. Maybe you back here? Creep wave top and bottom are pushed
They still
in.
have a minute of daytime, but they know that there's some global mobility because of the Dark Rift, but no one else has bots or anything like that. So as long as they're pinned into this base right now, it's only creeps doing damage to the top tier 3.
You're right. Leave will come out onto 2. Range Drax is still getting peeped at. Looks like high ground will finally make the decision to back.
Yeah, this is the scary
shrine down,
part.
but here comes T. Shiva's Guard coming in. MTR looking for a blink call, can't find it. Illuminate still healing everybody back up. And they wanted to go for the shrine. Now they have to maybe rethink that decision. And maybe they're going to go back in here on Geek Fam. Mose and MTR getting themselves positioned up, but Geek Fam kind of backing themselves away. They just want to push out far enough where they won't get jumped on.
Yeah. Back yourselves away somewhere where you can, like, they're not even going to TP. It's, like, not even worth it at this point. It's like you're so bundled up together.
You can turn things around if you get caught, whereas if you TP, everybody gets caught, you kind of just have to leave them to die. Probably a smart play. Anyway, though, tier 3 tower was taken, as I mentioned. Net worth graph is still relatively close, but I don't know. I guess, what do you do here? You still have the Aegis up, but I mean, what do you do if you're Geek Fam? You have to keep the waves pushed out like they've been doing, but
Yeah, try and get a better, like, global position in terms of, like, get someone up here, get someone down here, those kind of things. Like, namely the Storm Spirit. He's going to have to do a lot of work. The Shiva's Guard, Teehee. 8 Bloodstone charges is still decent mana regen, so once the wave gets close, he can help deal with that. You got Velo back down to his bottom living scenario. Has no TP, though. Need to start getting some TPs in those side jobs.
he's been living dangerously a lot of the time in this game. It feels like he's just like, nah, I don't need it. Or either that or he's forgetting because he has that mechanic built in. Let's talk about some items here. I think the biggest one is Psyonix has picked up a BKB. Other than that, I can't think of any other items that we haven't already mentioned. So I'm kind of interested in your thoughts.
It's not even going to do that much, honestly. It helps against the Maelstrom and just like the Coddle Blast and whatnot, but we are dealing with a lot of physical damage at this point. Like, Shrapnel's not the biggest concern. It's mostly just the whole right-click damage overall. Mjolnir Sniper, I mean,
Omni
suppose
Slash.
you missed the magic damage, but obviously the very fast attack speed hurts.
You know what? It's kind of interesting that he does go for it. It seems like it's just for the Slitherine Crush, to be honest with you. It's not going to help you from anything really from the axe. And I mean, I guess Illuminate, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean, there's also like the blind. Maybe you've already used your manta at that point. I don't know. There's a lot of little things that it's gonna be very annoying. But Raji,
I
man,
think
he
he's
might
dead.
get spotted. Yeah, the Illuminate charge shows him.
Yeah, he's done. Bowling Blade comes out. That sucks. They dewarded not only, and then, oh god, 10-10's like, please get me out. He's out. But
They
yeah,
almost had it.
that was pretty funny. They not only dewarded, but they also found the Rubik, just with the charge alone. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, and that's now only 2 more minutes at the 40-minute mark. We'll be back into daytime once again. We just kind of go through the same scenario.
Looks like High Ground will group up to take down this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Understandably so. They could also maybe make a move onto the shrine. Aegis is gone now, and it is a 10-minute, 46-second respawn timer for Roshan. Actually, I think 9-minute, 45-second respawn timer. Somewhat in the middle.
The power of Coddle, though. They just like bring 5 heroes down. Like your lane's good here, it's pushing top, and Coddle brings all 5 heroes.
Teehee misses on the first jump, still going in. Shiva's Guard, he's jumping all over the place. Slither Crush not there. Pit of Malice now, the Firestorm coming out. Telekinesis to follow up. Can they get Mosin or anybody? Call comes out. They want T. They should be able to find this even with the Greaves coming out. They will get the Calling Blade. The Grave is not going to help at all. The Shiva's Guard now going to lens. If they can get this kill, it would be absolutely huge. With Teehee down, I don't know how much further they can chase. BKB coming in for Psionics. They really want this kill. Reflection is out. They'll grab it. And they're still going. Pit of Malice coming out. Hits onto 2. Axe is going to get Glimmer Cape now. They're going to go for the call here momentarily. No, the telekinesis comes out. They should be able to bring him down. Potentially the call. Not getting there. Another Pit of Malice coming in again. The Assassinate coming out. The Grave will come through. Calling Blade. They finally find it. MTR somehow stays alive. They just don't have enough damage on Geek Fam's side. DDZ is still alive somehow too. Firestorm, Pit of Malice. They might be able to get this kill on MTR. He's so low. It looks like the Assassinate will finish all 5 of them as it's DDZ getting a double kill. And what seemed to be a somewhat okay fight there in the middle of it turns out to be, again, pretty terrible overall for Geek Fam.
The drums.
God-like drums.
He's just like running through the
God-like.
trees. Please leave me alone. I'm just a little dwarf, man.
He's
Wow.
pretty great.
I can
That's
imagine.
pretty good.
That fight probably goes a lot better if your Storm Spear doesn't start it with like 20% mana.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, he was scouting, trying to figure out where they were. Can't really blame him. Good timing on the fight from Geek Fam. It's when the Aegis has gone down. You know they're grouped up. It's going to be your best chance for an engagement. And getting the Jug was huge.
Yeah, but if you can only get one of those heroes, I mean, everybody is so tanky. And that was during nighttime, too, by the way, where they didn't have heal. It like turned daytime right at the end of the fight, I think.
Yeah, Healing Ward did a lot of work at the very beginning of that fight. Then it got kind of like microed off to the side, and Raji found it and killed it. But throughout all of that zipping and zopping from the Storm Spirit, there's just like a Healing Ward kind of taking down all that random AoE damage people were throwing in thanks to Vision from all his allies. So canceled out. And oh yeah, look, a DD rune. You guys want a high ground maybe? Want to go
Let's
poke at some
DDZ.
towers?
Hey, man, listen. You got a
That's an
DD.
instant shrine kill, I think.
DDZ's got a DD. See? I like zipping and zopping. I'm pretty.
Yeah,
I'm a
you
pretty
like
big.
that?
I'm stealing that from now on.
All right.
I'll pay you in royalties.
Sounds like something Cosby would say or something.
Zopping was the pudding and the popping. Yeah. I have a terrible Cosby impression.
No, that was great.
Thanks, man. Roger, you'll scepter it up. You know, he doesn't have a great Cosby impression because he's dead. So.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do like a molesting joke or
Yeah,
something.
you know what? I
wasn't sure where
decided that was
going.
maybe not the most apt thing to do.
No. All right. Well,
Situation.
I don't know. Sniper, he's playing like he is an Aegis. All right, nice save.
Yeah, they're going in. Great 4-step back out. Pit of Malice is there. Lance is like, not again, not again. The Scotty's owning me. He's going to have to use the Met Style. Still might fall. Shiva's Guard. One more auto attack will do the job. They get the pull into DDZ. This might be enough to Firestorm. He actually gets forced to the high ground using his own Hurricane Pike. Can they bring him down? The TP will come through. They have the stun. The mana lead was there from TE, so he couldn't chase any further. Call coming out now. He wants Psionics. Might be able to get him with the Quell, or Calling Blade, excuse me. Meanwhile, he will still get auto attack down, and that's the gem. That is the gem on the deck picked up by Geek Fam, and they are not out of this game yet. Not over.
Yeah, now it's our Juggernaut, who's really suffering because he doesn't have any sort of a defensive item on Lance here. Can't rely on the spin too much at this point in the game. Game percent. Wow, they got a second Shiva's Guard. Now they have one on Underlord and Storm Spirit.
You think that's a mistake? Seems a little like it, potentially.
It's a little weird.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Strange.
I feel like he should just buy an AC or something at this point, honestly. But there are some benefits if they're both solo split pushing, just because the waves are so important in this game that that might be his biggest logic for it.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense considering how long Velo's Velo's been down bottom, and also
Yeah.
Teehee's been up top too.
So it works in that sense, but it's still a little bit just like obviously the auras do not stack.
Right. All right, well, they are going to go for the Tier 2 tower, so all of a sudden Geek Fam kind of getting their second wind, if you will.
Yeah, they got to get off these Omni Slashes. Like, if you're not going to buy a defensive item, Omni Slash like is your defensiveness. You know, you got to get off your spin, you got to get off your Omni. Spin this game doesn't do all too much, so it's understandable. It's not really helping you out too much, but the Omni Slash is just a big part of your fight.
I got to say, they're making 22 armor and 2,400 HP seem like not a lot. They're chewing through this Jug pretty quickly. I feel like Sniper even seems more tankier than the Jug. Maybe that's just because of the Hurricane Pike.
Yeah. We'll save him a couple times, but good news for the Radiant. Dire not able to close out Roche quickly, whereas they have the Slardar here. So, shall we investigate, Radiant friends?
It looks like they're going to. Hey, let's Relusion. Hey, what's going on? Oh, there's Velo on the Underlord. We've got an Observer Ward here. He knows something is amiss. Bit of Malice will come out. Glimmer Cape coming through as well. There's the Shiva's Guard, but it won't hit for the first one. Second one will come in from TE in a moment here if he wants it. Another good pit of mouse coming out. Meanwhile, Omni/Philo, the jumps will go. They have Shrine. They're going to use it and position themselves in a good position. Blue Crush down to 2. 10-10 still alive. Yes, Grave can't get it off. Good call onto 2 as well. MTR starting to take some serious damage here, though, but he should have some Coin Blades ready to go. Psionics, he's got Sunder. He's going to use it. Lance now low as well with MTR. They need to get out now. Lance getting low. One more auto attack will do the job, but T looks like he might have to use that Bloodstone to deny, and he gets it off just in time. Pit of Malice coming in. There's another Shiva's coming out. They really need some extra damage. Psionics gets himself a double kill. Mosin will fall. Looks like one more auto attack will do it. It's 4 down. They only lost Teehee and the Dazzle, and now they're looking for this last kill. It's Felix running away on this Keeper of the Light. He might actually be able to make it out here. Okay. All right. Wow.
That was a
Is under attack.
very good fight for Geek Fam. That puts them, well, I didn't quite catch the recap, but not too shabby. Man, we've actually did so much work in that fight. Just a lot of physical damage. Again, we kind of talked about that earlier on the Radiant side. And at one point, Velo had plus 50 armor going for him thanks to the weave. So very difficult to bring him down. Classic Underlord.
Classic Underlord. Yeah. It's turned out to be a pretty good choice. I feel like in every game that I see with Underlord, Bit of Malice is always like one of the abilities that I notice most. Seem to be doing some work there again. Seems like a pretty good ability, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, it does some stuff.
It definitely
They're pinging
does.
a gem. Oh, there was a gem right on this board. That's convenient.
Indeed.
Raji finds it.
Grab that. And
easy ages.
This is not going to be in time, I don't believe, for high ground. They're not even really close.
The Dragon Lance or no? They're gonna give it to TP. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Put the cheese on Terrorblade. That works.
Yeah, he's good to go. Switch it out for something. I don't know what. Treads, maybe. Perhaps. All right. We had a 7,500 net worth advantage for high ground that has dissipated essentially instantly within the span of about 5 minutes or so. I guess it's not really instant, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. They honestly didn't look like they were putting out that much damage during the last fight. Again, probably largely due to the weave and whatnot, and then the constant heal spam from Underlord and Dazzle. But if Jug is one of the most susceptible heroes when it comes to Underlord, right? Because if you look at his damage, he has 161 plus 58. So that whole 161, because he's a stat item builder, heavily affected by the attribute aura.
Yeah,
Very
that's a good
bad.
point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, I don't know, you buy like Desos or something on some other heroes, and you just get the flat damage increase. That's not going to impact you as much.
Kinesis coming back, Fade Bolt coming out, the pull coming from the Electric Vortex on top of that. However, Teehee's going to be caught. He does have the Aegis and the Omni Slash. It's not used yet, but he will back out with a Blade Fury. Jiva's Guard will go. Cross Phase going to do some work. Meanwhile, jump back in for Teehee. BKB is up for Teehee. Still
nice
going.
Shrine.
He wants DDZ, but the Shrine, as you mentioned, is up. And now Lance coming in, wants some auto attack damage, and will push Teehee back. Call coming through, and they might lose Psionics here. He does have cheese, but it's in, of course. Oh, he missed the Calling Blade. The Sunder gets out as well. The Dark Roof will save them. They will make it away. Even without the cheese, they still might only lose Raji here. A good defense coming out, however, for high ground, but they really wanted a lot more, and they almost did get Psionics. They're very close there.
Oh, it's so hard to hit that Calling Blade that late, honestly. Oh, man. There you go, guys. There's your Agnum Scepter game. I don't know. Just that little bit of health, but like 400 HP. Look at Psionics. How do you find 400 HP on this guy?
You got to count the bars, man. I don't know what the bars even symbolize. I think it's like the big bar is like 1k each, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you got to get the, what is it? The threshold set you can do in the console.
Yeah, you can make your own personal threshold, I believe.
Yeah. A lot of people change it for Axe, which is understandable, honestly, but does not find it this time.
No.
That hurts.
That is rough, my friend. It's very rough, so. Good attempts coming out, however, from high ground. Now they will
they
pick
played
up
that
an
fight
MTV.
perfectly, too, where they bring down the Aegis, they all immediately back, good use of the Blinding Light, the Hurricane Pikes, they get back to the Shrines, activate. They forced out a bad BKB from Geek Fam, just because Teehee wants to pop his BKB, he wants to jump in, and then yeah, he can't find anything because again, there's no like team initiation. He's zipping over to the high ground into shrines and stuff, and then once that was used, that was kind of their whole tank. So
And
top lane.
Oh god, Southern Crush. Lance coming in, Abyssal Blade dead. Man, that is a huge kill. He just bought Bloodthorn. He has 4 Bloodstone charges now. His respawn time is 75 seconds as of right now. Oh boy, that is not good. And there's fights probably going to be breaking up mid if they're not careful.
I wonder if they saw the Bloodthorn. They definitely know if they saw that Bloodthorn that he doesn't have buyback.
I would say it's 50-50. It's hard to tell. I feel like if they start pushing within the next couple of seconds, I'd say there's a good chance. Well, they might have just done that anyway, to be fair, but they're at least going to take the Shrine. Well, I was going to mention something. Oh, I feel like they could have gotten that kill on the Terrorblade in that last fight if the Sniper had the MKB just a bit earlier. He has it now, and so this shouldn't be an issue anymore in terms of his auto attack damage with the Terrorblade. Sure, the Jug won't have an MKB or anything, but...
He also has an extra quarterstaff.
Yeah, he's had that since like the 20-minute mark, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why.
Oh, so he was just like probably going for Butterfly, and he was like, shit, I need MKB.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was probably... Yeah, that was it. Anywho, daytime. Keeper of the Light Aghanim Scepter. Weave is going to drop down onto 2. Grapnel coming out as well. Stolen by good old Raji. And, well, here goes DDZ going to work. Really wants this. Raji blinks up, was looking for Fade Bolt or a Telekinesis. So it looks like that threat, it'll push them back. And also Teehee respawning in 2 seconds. So they will hold. Both teams have very solid high ground defense. Means that this game might go on forever. But everybody else is back in high ground, it looks like.
Yeah, TP's all get out, so no problem. E-Blade now done for Felix.
Oh my god. What an item.
Yeah, he's got the blink has already saved him a couple times, but now he'll be able to blink Glimmer and blink E-Blade people to try and save them from Terrorblade.
It's huge. Defensively, that is a gigantic pickup for both his Jug and DDZ. Really everybody, to be honest with you. There's a lot of situations where that could come in handy.
Lance also has enough for a Mjolnir. He just needs the courier to the shop, or take himself to the shop now that he's the rescue on himself.
I think you need to walk yourself there because there's 3 heroes top lane. If he sends the courier, it's probably going to die. They're going to group up. Do they have a smoke? It looks like they don't.
They need to. Yeah, he's pinging the shop. He's like, guys, can you escort me over here, boys?
This is still kind of dangerous walking up high ground here. They're going to do it anyway. They really wanted that Mjolnir. I don't blame them. I don't know, man. We're going to get to that point pretty soon where we're going to start seeing some global moon shards coming out. Like that type of game, I feel like.
Dude, I tell you, there was a game yesterday with this Alchemist had OD and Legion on his team, and he bought an Aghanims for the OD first. And I was just like, my friend, and he started building another Aghanims, and I was like, so help me God. If this guy buys an Aghanims for Legion before he buys a Moonshard, I'm actually going to end myself. But then he changed it, and he bought a Moonshard, so it was okay.
That's it. It's all over.
If you're, I mean, that's just awful.
I have lost faith in humanity.
Yeah. Then he remembered the patch immediately. He was like, oh shit, I almost bought my Legion and Aghanims instead of buying him Moonshards. Because, I mean, I'm sure Legion Ags is good at times. I don't disagree. It's just, as far as I know, it's still bugged. And it applies, Legion, like the Legion Ags properties are applied to Alchemist. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's
not a good one.
Strange situation. I definitely don't like. It's not the first thing I would think of when I'd be like, yeah, let me get this for you. All right, jump in. Lance is going to be caught. Pit of Malice will go, but he does pop the Blade Fury. He also gets a stun on the G. Great will come out. They have the Coin Blade, but MTR is not there. He actually pops the cheese and will blow away Mosin. MTR getting caught with a Scotty. Good at Ethereal Blade to help him out, though. Velo is still chasing. Raji looking for a lift target. Can't find it. He also has Battle Hunger, not the greatest spell. They'll take down the tier 3 tower. Psionics is getting pretty low. He does have Sunder. He will get Graved, and Dark Rift is going to come through
the
next.
Blinding Light,
that is huge. They're only going to get one out with his Dark Rift. Sunder, however, comes out, and they will bring Felix very low. Now jumping in, the call is there. The spins are up. 10-10 is getting low, and Psionics is about to get caught as well. No mana for the Coin Blade, but they don't need it. They will take down both the Dazzle as well as that Terror Blade. And, okay, another good hold coming out from high ground. So a little, that Blinding Light, though, as you talked about, Trent, huge, because they get out there. If he's with the rest of the team, that's fine. They're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, he saved the Terrorblade a couple times. Obviously, that's what happened in the last fight. So just a good hold there by Felix to know that, like, at this point, Terrorblade has Manta. He is a BKB. The Stormer Spirit, he has a BKB. Your use of the mischance of the Blinding Light isn't going to be as strong as this ability to save it to make sure you can stop the Dark Rift from working.
Lance, Jeeve is up. Call not there. Pit of Malice perfectly placed. There's going to be the Bloodthorn coming out as well. Ethereal Blade to save him for now. Defensive capabilities are so huge right now for high ground.
Lance is trying to do a way better job holding his Abyssal Blade this time, because last time he was spinning and was forced to Abyssal onto Teehee, and it meant they couldn't follow him. All the damage.
He doesn't have buyback. It's going to be 4 versus 5. 3 versus 5 is now. They're not buying back on Psionics yet. BKB will go. See, he's going to jump in Shiva's guard. They should have another Ethereal Blade, and it is up, in fact, and he's going to get Glimmered as well. Jump in Slithering Crush, good grave, but the Coin Blade is again there once more. Another Slithering Crush to follow up onto Velo, but the Shrine may save him. Coin Blade coming out, getting canceled. He's still going to die anyways. DDZ just going to work. They're going to try to jump onto the Sniper. Buybacks from 3 heroes into Geek Fam, including Xanax. They really want to keep this Rax alive. So they're Crush. They're so close to getting this kill on DDZ. Poison Touch, the Grave comes out, and they will keep this Storm alive, which they desperately need to. But Lance comes in and brings him down. Moses gets forced away. MTR looking to fight back. Shiva's Guard will get the kill. Buyback coming from the Sniper. They want to end this game, and they want to do it now. Pitted Mouse coming in. Blade Fury, but Lance getting low. He might have buyback as well if he goes down. Looks like he will end up falling. No Boots of Travel, however. DDZ has to defend top for some reason. He just buys back to defend top, which might not be the worst thing, but what a chaotic damn fight.
Don't worry, he's brought back
they're
in.
not done yet, by the way. They jump in, call comes out, Psionics is in trouble. He needs to get the Thunder off. He can't. Bashed up by the MKB. Can't actually get it off. That's a dive back coming out, not only from him, but the Rubik as well. Now they're going to have this up on a 10-10-10, and all of a sudden the game ends just like that. It looks like Velo's going to try to Dark Rift away. He should be successful. So too was the Dazzle to be able to beat, or excuse me, Grave TP. And it doesn't really matter, though, as they're going to lose the second set of racks in probably the game, as GG is called. Trent.
Woo. All right. Well, I want to say, like, kind of deserved in the sense that I felt like HG, High Ground, played their lanes very well. It seemed like they had the right idea. They grouped up super early, were running around the map, made this lineup work. Axe had a great early game. But that whole mid-game period, to be expected, very difficult to close out, and I did not have a lot of faith in that they'd be able to do it. I felt like the creep cutting was going to be way too much from Storm, Underlord, and Terrorblade, but High Ground, it really was those big High Ground holes where there were these scary situations where Geek Fam were kind of going for the all-in, and they would find these big Blinding Light plays, or the Abyssal Blade helping out, and probably just MTR honestly played very well this whole game on the Axe. Is that 11, 4, and 15 he ended at? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he did very well. One of the better Axe performances I've seen in a while. Really just a good team play all around. It looked a bit sketchy in the early stages of the game when Felix was getting jumped on by the Storm Spirit and Mosin wasn't finding the most in the game, but they turned it around, and I think that's a great win for a team that, against Geek Fam especially, High Ground not in the Valve qualifiers for the Kiev Major did very well for themselves. But it is a 2-game series, so there's a chance to at least even it up. Of course, we can't see that third game if Geek Fam do win that second one, unfortunately. But any closing thoughts, Trent, before we head into a break?
No, looking forward to game number 2. I like 2-game series, so
let's do it.
Fire away.
All right. We will take a quick break, guys. Coming back into game number 2 for this series, and make sure you guys stick around here on moonducktv.